Welcome back here. Another the Down and Back Cornhole podcast, the post ACL Canada Open number 2 from St. John's, Newfoundland. I know I'm a little late getting this out, but yeah, I had after the Open, I went up, hit Spaniards Bay to kind of calm the stuff. We did a little thing with the CBC with Dion and Amanda. Then like I said, I went up to Spaniards Bay, kind of did some bit of relaxing. Come back down to St. John's for my flight to get out Tuesday night. I didn't leave till very, very early in the morning. Wednesday morning, got home very, very early Wednesday morning back to Toronto, and then just life then took over. So we're here to do a little bit of a recap of the weekend. I hope it won't take too long, but it'll be me just talking here. No guests this week. Just me talking. We'll talk about some of the stuff that went on there this weekend, or sorry, the past couple weekends ago there. Start off great time by all down there. Start off the Wednesday night. There was a fundraiser for a youth basketball team that was going to a tournament in Quebec, and some of you that don't know, in Newfoundland, with Cornhole Newfoundland, Amber and Sean, they do a lot of PPR stuff to kind of keep, because there's the top 3 players there. There's Dion Albert, Derek Barrett, which will be talking a little bit more about him, and then they think that there's a rest. But what we then seen on the weekend, there's not just the rest. Everybody there is top notch, in my opinion, from what I've seen. Sean and Amber, throw out your PPR stuff. Just play it straight up. That's all I gotta say after what I've seen. But yeah, so we do our 1 game or 2 games of PPR to see which the top, bottom, whatever. I got paired up with Mr. Albert Parsons for that, and I have to say I was a little nervous kind of going in there, because Albert and I didn't do well in the rounders portion. We did 4 games of rounders. The big goose egg with that. Went 0-4 in rounders with Mr. Albert Parsons, and then I started hearing the whispers. Albert's never went winless in a league night before. Thanks for the confidence. Albert's never went. Oh yeah, I heard Albert has never gone winless in a league night. And then so we went into the, as Cornhole Newfoundland calls it, the booby prize round. And we then picked it up in that. Went all the way through. And we got the win. I can't say who we got the win against, because I think that person from the Dundas Valley Cornhole Club has heard enough of his name. Russ. Yeah. So there was that great night there. It was a lot of fun. Then we went back at it Thursday afternoon. We did the setup of all the what we do, like almost do I want to say almost 50 courts? Almost, I think. Somewhere in around there. The setup on the Thursday afternoon with Sean, Derek, and the rest of the names are just gone out of the head. Anyway, Thursday night. An eventful Thursday night at the Open. We then went in and we did another blind draw, just kind of a little get together. And I know Bobby Speary, and I want to say his partner was Travis Hillier. I'm hoping I got that right. I know Travis didn't really realize that he had an ACL Pro as a partner until it was finished, but they took down the top prize there, which then led into the Friday at noon hour. We went live with senior singles and the women's, and I have to say we started off with a bang. And seniors was kind of going by, just flying by. If you go back and watch the live feed of that there, we got to have the senior singles final on there, and there was a double dip there. Steve James against Steve Hensby, the Battle of the Steves from Ontario. And I have to say, Steve Hensby threw absolutely amazing both games. He came in as a king seat, I for me, if he would have been throwing that any other time, he would have won. But Steve James was absolutely on fire. I think one of the games he was throwing over a 10, and he just couldn't miss. He couldn't miss, and it was just great to see. Just and really for me, longer games. Like I said, we'd started to see that in our conference, the Central Canada Conference. That then led into the Open, where we were seeing a lot longer games, played a lot of washes, and it was just great, some great stuff to see. But yeah, Steve James took the double dip in taking the senior singles title for the ACL Canada Open #1. Then we get to the women's portion of it with their bracket and stuff going on, and I've got to say, if I've been saying it all along in the show, the women's game in Canada is the one that is growing the most, and we got to see some fantastic games in there. Some names that we'd never heard of within the cornhole community before. There was some we knew going in, especially from Newfoundland. We've heard of Valerie Mayo. We've heard of Paula Savory. We've heard of Angela. We call her Cornstar. We've heard of that. We've heard of those names. We got to hear some more, especially from Newfoundland. We got to hear Christy Stevens. We got to hear just a bunch of stuff. Some people, Doreen Pond. It's the names are just it's some are escaping me, but it's it was so great to see so many fantastic players out there, and that were really. Holly Snowgrove is another one that's just kind of popped up on my phone here. Players there, it was just fantastic to see. And then we got a name that I'd seen going through the bracket that we had not seen before, Amanda Oakley. And watching her, like I said, go through the bracket, taking down, like we had a lot of, I believe we had, I want to say 7 of the top 8 female players in Canada playing in that tournament. And got to see Amanda Oakley, and talking with her afterwards, she was hoping to win one game. She won her first game. She then had to play tough competitor from Ontario, Lisa Harink. She defeated Lisa. Then she had to play, I believe it was Alin Ladissour, and she defeated Alin Ladissour. Now, those are 2 names that you're not going to they're not easy to beat. Alin is always up there. Lisa's really starting to pick up her game. You're starting to see her in finals and stuff. Then that led to Amanda going into the Queen Seat game versus Crystal Higgins, another top player from Ontario here. She's ranked 5th, I believe, in the ACL in women's standings right now. She lost to her in the Queen Seat game. So Crystal's sitting in the Queen Seat game. So then Amanda then has to go down. Who does she play in the game to get back to the final? Lana Smith, another. You're not going to get an easy game out of Lana at all. And once that game got onto the live feed court, you're able to see it on the down and back page here. The crowd, you kind of tell people starting to know that Amanda was getting close to the final again. And you start to see the crowd kind of start to come in. And I'm not sure. It's something we've never seen in cornhole here in Canada before. And I know I've talked to Trey Ryder many times about this, whether it be on the show or if I've went and kind of some meetings with him, talking with him. We want to have, and I keep calling it that Duncan Clemmer moment. That moment where it's just there's shots, there's a crowd just right there that's ready to just go wild like they did down a few years ago at the ACL finals when Clemmer hit that 3-bag drag over top of Trey Birchfield in Rock Hill, and you can kind of feel the crowd start to go. Like we were going all of a sudden for that game against Lana, it was about 3 deep. Looking around the court that I could see. I could tell, and behind me was the glassed in lounge. I could kind of feel it. There was the people were starting to come up there as well. Amanda gets a tough win against Lana Smith. Like I said, Lana's not going to roll over for anyone. You're going to get a battle, and that was a battle of a game there as well. So then Amanda then goes to the final where she has to, she's got a double dip Crystal. Crystal just has to win the one, and as she gets to the final, there's more people coming on. So now we're about 5 deep around the boards. I'm hearing they were like 8 to 10 deep, trying to look over the glass. There was people relaying the score, people watching trying to watch what's going on, and texting people with what's going on at They're three deep, and Crystal, I got to talk to her at a league night here in KW here afterwards, and she was like, there was only one shot if she could have it back, but that's the thing about cornhole. It's just a game of, if someone can get a roll, they can get going. Crystal said if she had one shot back, she would take that one shot over again. But Amanda Oakley come with the double dip. She was hoping she'd only have to win one game, but she got the one championship out of it, the women's singles championship. And I know, it's and Crystal said it was tough because, like I said, we've never had that in cornhole in Canada before, and we got the eruption when Amanda won. I thought the glass was being blown out behind me. Just an incredible thing, and that kind of went day one with that there. We then led into the ACL swap the Friday night, and I believe Crystal then kind of got back. I think she won the level 2 of that, like the second level of that there. And Bobby Speary, I believe, won that one as well. I'm not sure I can't just remember who his partner was. I know for myself, I got to play in the swap, and after all the rounds of swap and the gunning of the bracket, unfortunately, Jessica Mackey then got paired up with me, and she was, I had to apologize first because we all know how this guy plays, and it was just a normal night for me. Jessica and I were watching early, but we did have some fun along the way, and I'm hoping she liked the local bags, the local hero bags. So I said, you know what, you can keep those, and you can have them and have get some local bags in Newfoundland. So that's what we did, and then going into Saturday, we had the doubles, and I don't know if anyone's seen me. I did the preview on the Thursday night of some stuff, and I did a top 15 in doubles. Some of the teams did okay, some of the teams didn't. I kind of going through the top 20 in doubles teams. I know for one of them, I had James Forbes and Corey Ewart third. The Four Joke guys. Make sure you're checking them out on Facebook. They ran into some tough rounders games to get into that. They ended up being in level 2. They actually took down level 2 against a strong team of Mark and Graham from Ontario here. They almost double dipped Corey and James, but Corey and James got the win in that there. Just looking down at some of the teams that I had here, I had Brandon and Bernie because they've ran through everybody. I had them ranked first. They actually got second. Albert Parsons, Derek Barrett, they finished 9th. Steve Hensby and Finley. Steve Hensby, James Finley, they finished 7th. Now, the team I had 5th, I had Bobby Sperry and Daniel Faulkner 5th. And if you remember what I talked about them, I said, we know Bobby's going to be there. Daniel, being still new to the cornhole, less than a year, I believe, playing, was going to be, not to put any pressure on him, but it was going to be like, however he played was going to dictate where they finished. And Daniel stepped up, and he just played lights out. Even Bobby was very impressed with the way he played. They take the win in a level 1 single, so Speary and Faulkner get the win. Then Chris Trombley, Jamie Cowan, I had them 6th. They went 3rd. They finished 3rd in level 1. I think the team that made the biggest, second biggest stride for me was Kyle Hill and TJ Gilroy. I had them 10th, and they were talking to me all day. They were like, you got us 10th. You got us 10th. I think they almost thought they should have been a bit lower. That was maybe putting a little more pressure on them. They finished 5th in the level 1 bracket. It's like I keep saying with a lot of people here, all you have to do is play the game. You play the game and you're going to be fine. And that's they really put a show on there. Other ones I had at 11th, I had Matt Plyle and Russ Fisher. They finished 17th. Alin Ladisseur, Steve James, I had them at 14. They actually finished 4th in level 1 doubles. Then Hallwell and Walsh out of Newfoundland, I had them 15th. They actually came in 9th. So a lot of the players there looks like I got almost about half there that I was able to predict that are going to be inside the top 15. And who knows? Maybe I do know a little bit about cornhole. Was watching some of these people here and checking out what PPRs and just kind of have them done in different things. But yeah. So Bobby Sperry, Daniel Faulkner first, Brandon Brown, Bernie Portalesi second, and then Chris Tremblay, Jamie Cowan third in the level 1 doubles. Then had the singles on Sunday. Now I kind of did the top 10 at singles. I think it's, and that was still another one where it was just, the field was just so strong. I think for me, the top 4 were really kind of established. It was almost kind of like a given. For that there, I had the top 4 as Dion Kuza, Bernie Portalesi, Brandon Brown, then Bobby Sperry. If you haven't watched that, if you thought the crowd was loud for the Amanda and Crystal final, Bernie and Dion put on a show like you wouldn't believe in the final there. Dion Kuza taking first in level 1 singles. Bernie Portalesi, hell of a game, just because Bernie got out to 7. If you go back and listen to the game, Bernie got out to a 7-0 lead, and the crowd was silent. Like you could hear a pin drop at the Remax Center, and then I kind of said it was almost like the crowd was waiting for Dion to get a point. Dion got that point. Dion came back tied at 7-7. I believe Bernie went up 14-7. Dion came back tied at 14 all. I believe Bernie then took another lead, and I believe the final score would have been 21-18 for Dion. But it was a battle. Like I said, like Bernie would go and get that lead, and then Dion would fight back, and Bernie would get another lead, and Dion would fight back. It was just two guys that were just, and you could tell the pressure if you really watch and see it on their faces. There was pressure there, and it's something that we've never felt here in Canada before. Like it was, you could feel the tension as I was even saying on the live feed. Feel it there. It was just two great guys just battling it out, and it was intense. Maybe not the intensity they wanted, but I think it was the intensity that we needed for cornhole in Canada. And I think that just shows that we are moving in the right direction with that. But then after those top two guys, like I said, I had Brandon, then Bobby. Ended up finishing. Bobby Sperry finished third. Brandon Brown fourth. I had Derek Barrett at fifth. Josh Power, a name we didn't really know, is actually a guy. I think they said they didn't convince him to play until late Sunday night to come out and play. He did great. If you watched him on the live feed, he struggled a bit his first live feed game against Douglas Mulrooney Sharp. He got a little confused there. There was one time where he threw a bag out of turn. I kind of let them know what to go on. They'd ask me what happens then. Dead bag for Josh. I was like, now Douglas throws 2. Douglas throws 1. Josh threw again right away. Just kind of raring to go there. I don't know if it was the first time being on a live feed jitters. But then, yeah, Douglas kind of came back with the win at the end of that game there. But it was just a little jitters on that first game, moving him down the loser bracket. And then he battles way right back up to a 5th place finish, which I thought was great. I had Corey Ewart finishing in 3rd for that. And then, I had Corey Ewart finishing, 6th in that there. Albert Parsons ended up finishing in that spot. I had Jamie Cowan then finishing 7th. Albert finishing 8th. Albert finished a little higher than that. James Finley, then Tracy DeCoste. And if you look at the after the 5th, so we had Josh Power, Albert Parsons tied for 5th. Tied for 7th was James Finley and Derek Barrett. Derek Barrett was one guy who really flashed on. I believe he was number 1 in PPR after the Rounders portion. I know Albert Parsons was the number 1 seed, Derek Barrett the 2 seed. Derek actually beat Dion in the Rounders portion out there. They were both 5-0 going into it. Derek Barrett finished 6-0. Dion finishing 5-1. Then going to tied for 9th place, Travis Hillier, Jamie Cowan, Steve Hensby, Brett Castian. Brett Castian he was great all weekend. He was on live feeds. He was so unbelievable. Him and actually his partner, Mike Miller. Mike was actually out at KW this past week and throwing some bags with us again. But they both threw great in the doubles, and then Brett again in the singles was just throwing lights out to get a top finish. Tied for 13th, Daryl Parsons, the Albert Parsons brother, finishing 13th. Tie with him was Chris Tremblay. And Andrew, we're just going to call him Quattro. That's all. Q Quattro. He said I didn't have to say the rest. Q or Quattro is fine. He was throwing just amazing as well. Daniel Faulkner was 13th. Finishing 17th, Mark Collins and Graham Finley. Sorry, finishing 17th, Mark Collins, Graham Finley, the partners who finished second in the level 2 doubles to Corey Ewart and James Finley. Sorry, James Forbes, not Finley. Then Eric King, Billy Norman from Newfoundland, both of them. Terrence Gilroy with a big finish there at 17th. Andrew Spencer as well, finishing 17th. Joe Oliveira was tied for 17th. And Holly Snellgrove in there tied for 17th. So we've seen a lot of names from Newfoundland there that did it. I know the level 2 singles was won by Cody Kenny. Probably got that wrong. My apologies, Cody. I know Cody won it. He beat Tracy DeCoste in the final level 2 singles. Level 3 singles was won by Curtis Walsh, defeating Peyton Clark in the final there. So all 3 singles, Newfoundland defeats Ontario. So I think, as I said off the top there, for people in Newfoundland, you always want to do stuff by PPR. Toss that out. I think everyone in Newfoundland can compete. They showed that all weekend long. There, I think it was just a fantastic display by Cornhole Newfoundland. Great hospitality. I think we're going to hear a lot of names from Newfoundland come up, especially I think there's probably about 100 people coming up for the next Open. If there's one in Ontario, they're going to come up for that Open. They all want to be here. And we're going to probably be about a third of people from Newfoundland. There'll be no cornhole left playing in Newfoundland because everyone will be at an Open. They're all ready to go. I got to give a shout out to Keith Kuza, the brother of Dion, who, he told me he showed Dion everything he knew for Dion to get better. I don't believe it, though. But that's what Keith says, so we have to believe it. Other one, we got to see him a couple times on the live feeds, and hopefully he's going to be able to come on a show here. Dion says he's going to come on with him. Kyle Walsh, just a great guy, great talking to him. Like I said, he got to be on live feeds. And even he picked up a few wins, and he did some pretty good. I know he almost made it to a final. I'm not sure. I'm just forgetting now if it was a singles or a doubles, but he went a long way, and it was a great showing by him. Like I said, he's going to be coming on a show very soon. So, like I said, just a great weekend. And now my other thing is, I got asked a lot on the weekend if I knew anything about pro qualification for next year. I do not. Nothing has come out about that yet. I know, if anything, from my personal opinion, this is just a personal opinion. This is not anyone else's opinion. It's just this one, is that I think we need, and what showed in the week, like I said, it showed at that Open number 2, we need more pro spots in Canada. What we have now, I don't think it gives enough people the chance. I think 2 women's spots, absolutely not enough. Absolutely not enough. I think we have enough top women players in Canada that we need almost, if not the same amount of male pro spots, or pretty damn close. We've got too many. Like I said, we had the top, at least 7 or 8 of the top 9 players at the Open there in St. John's, and they put on one hell of a display. And I think our women players need to be recognized more, especially by the ACL Canada, in having pro spots given to them. because I think it shows now that people are going to travel. I also think that if you're going to take a pro spot, you need to travel. We need to, I think for myself, we need to have that representation of pro people, that if we're going to have events in Canada, we need all of our pros there representing what's the best in cornhole. Not just go to the ones in Ontario, but we need to be traveling. I know the travel situation is hard sometimes, but I think it's just something that we need to do. Again, my own personal opinion. We got some pretty great people doing it, but I think to really show it out, we need to have everyone participating and showing just what being a pro is all about and what it takes to be a pro. I know some stuff is going to be coming out with that here soon, and hopefully we'll get it out to you. But it's yeah. I think Canada, the ACL Canada. I think for myself, I think it's ahead of schedule of what the 10-year plan was for what we're going to do. I think we are ready to move forward and get it going, because there is just too many great players that are in here now that are battling inside to get the top 100 in each conference. I believe they're doing a top 64 actually in Newfoundland for the maritime stuff. Central Canada Conference is they're still going to do the top 100, which I think that battle for the top 100. I know this one is not even close to the top 100 this year, but yeah, it's been a ride. Our next up, we have the ACL Canada Ontario Provincials coming up here July 7, 8, 9. I'm not able to make it. I have a prior commitment, family commitment that I have to that I'm attending to. That was done. We booked that way back in January, so I can't. I won't be able to make it there. I will have some people that will be there, being my spies, to let me know just what's going on, who's doing great. I think we all know who's going to be the top players going into that are, and I don't think that will change going into that year. Then a couple weeks after that, we will all converge on Rock Hill, South Carolina, July 29th. I think it's July 29th. I'll be heading into Charlotte. That's one of my good friends in Charlotte says it's my airport, the Charlotte Douglas Airport, and then heading that little 20-minute drive down to Rock Hill to have 8 days of cornhole. Man, that's a great thing to say. I'll be down there for the full length, the Saturday to Sunday, and it's going to be great. I think there's going to be a lot of Canadian players going down. If you're watching this here and you're in Canada or even in the U.S., looking for, I know Lana Smith. I talked about her being one of the top female players in Canada here. She is looking for a partner, so if anyone is in the advanced division needing a partner, message the show. I will get the message to Lana. I know she's trying to find one. Her partner is only a competitive. You can't make the step up to advanced. Now you can make that change. So if you are an advanced player looking for a top female player to play with, or just a top player, doesn't mean female, she's just a top player regardless. Message the show here. I will get that over to Lana and then get her a partner for Worlds, because I know she will be a force to reckon with down there. So you've heard me ramble on for about 28 minutes here, a little over almost 29. So yeah, so with that, only thing left is those people that are going on the bottom of the screen at their localbagcompany.com. Check out Local Bags for all your bag needs. I know when I was down in St. John's, I was throwing the Heroes. Terminators were just fantastic down there on those boards. They're so hole friendly. They make me look good, which is, if a bag can do that there, you know what it can do for you. It can make someone bad look good. Think of someone good throwing them, what they can make you look like. The other one is jccornhole.com. Give Jamie some work. I almost got a chance to beat him the other night out at the shop, but give him some work, tire him out so I can get a chance to beat him at least my one game this month. That's all I need. jccornhole.com. Then head over to sierrahome.com. Tell Darren that you heard it about him here on the podcast, especially if you're in the Edmonton, Alberta area, Sherwood Park to be exact, that Darren give any of your home inspection needs. And of course, we're just in St. John's Open. He's got ties to St. John's in Newfoundland and Labrador. Actually, no, he's a little out the outskirts, but yeah, he's got ties to Newfoundland and Labrador. Give him some love there on Facebook. Give him a like. Sierra Property Inspections. And then, like I said, when you want to relax and have some fun, hoping I'm going to get, I think sometime in August, I think, might have a little talk with Mr. Josh Beach from Harris Beach Spirits, his Rye 51. This one isn't open yet because I've got too many others on the go. But his Rye 51, if you like rye, you want to get his Rye 51 available at some of the duty-free shops. One in the Niagara area, I know that they're hoping to get in the LCBO soon here if you are in Ontario. If not, check them out on Facebook. Find out where you can get it, or you can even go to their website, harrisbeachspirits.com. And with that, I've hit the 31-minute mark, and you've probably said, I heard enough of you talking at the live feeds on St. John's. We're done with you here now. So, be good to everyone. We'll be coming back with a show here very soon. I know we've got some big guests lined up going into the World Finals down in Rock Hill. So I almost said Cherokee. That was a long time ago. But anyway, we'll be down at Rock Hill at the end of July going into August for all of the competition down there, including the pro qualifier. So if you haven't got signed up yet for Rock Hill, I think you should be doing it now. The registration's opened up yesterday. So you can go out there and get signed up and so you can get playing down there, because it is just a fantastic time down there. Great venue, great people. That's all I can say. So until next time, have fun. Keep throwing local bags. Keep throwing on JC Cornhole boards or ACL Canada boards, because, like I say, if you're not playing ACL Canada, are you really playing cornhole?